Most people, when they hear mammon, they think about money, but it's bigger than that. In the Bible, mammon isn't just about cash, but it's wealth taken over. And it's the spirit that turns everything into a price tag. And life gets measured, and suddenly people feel more like a product than a human being. In Matthew 6:24, it says, "You can't serve both God and mammon." And honestly, the worst thing about mammon isn't plain old greed. It's the way that he rewrites what it means to be a human. People get turned into assets, and time turns into inventory, and souls become just data points. Even love, and somehow it gets twisted into leverage. And that's why Jesus calls mammon a master instead of just a tool. Mammon speaks in numbers: wages, debt, contracts, credit. And none of these things are evil on their own necessarily. But when they start shaping who we are, they turn into something that we worship. And in Proverbs 22:7, this comes to mind: the borrower is servant to the lender. Mammon teaches us to weigh time and dollars, and to measure people by what they produce, and to judge worth by success. And in Mark 8:36, it asks, "What's the point in gaining the whole world if you lose your soul?" When you chase profit above all else, your soul becomes the price. Let's talk about pneumatics for a second. The word pneuma comes from the words breath, spirit, and wind. Think about Genesis 2:7. God breathes life straight into Adam's nostrils. And before that, Genesis 1:2 says the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Every living thing serves that breath, the spark that actually animates it. Life isn't just about matter. The Spirit pressurizes it and fills it up. You move because something invisible pushes you forward. Creation shows you the dashboard. That's the engine under the hood. One shows you the blueprint, and the other gives you the power. Take away the spirit, and you're left with a shell. Structure without life. Lose creation, and you have energy with nowhere to go. Raw power and no shape. God holds both together. Then there's Mammon. He's always trying to get you to just look at things on the surface level. He's always trying to get you to just look at prices, how things look, and what they produce. God calls you deeper, though, into pneumatics, breath, meaning, spirit, life, calling. You're not some machine that's just running on fuel. You're a vessel, breathing into something heavenly. Creation isn't something by accident. It's a witness, and that feeling in your chest, that's not just biology. You weren't made to invent truth. You were built to see it. You were built to receive it. What you believe shapes how you see the world, and what you see ends up shaping who you become. It's a cycle, it's a back and forth. And that's what really reciprocal means. It's something that comes through you, and it never really leaves you the same. In spiritual terms, God gives you light, and you answer back with worship and obedience and love. Luke 6:38 says, "Give, and it will be given to you." Heaven doesn't just beam things down, but it's alive, it's an exchange. When your lens gets corrupt, things go sideways, and pride twists your truth. Fear shrinks your vision, and greed just clouds it. The whole give and take breaks down, and people stop. They stop offering worship, and instead they give back control and consumption and just plain compliance. And that's how idols get their power. Jesus fixes the lens. In Matthew 5:8, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." When you see clearly, you respond the right way. You see God for who he is. And you can't help but give yourself back to him. You weren't born to be measured by profit. You weren't created to prove your worth by how productive you are. The world will try to number you and rank you and put a price tag on you. But God named you before money even existed. Don't let any system convince you that you're replaceable. Don't let debt, fear, or hunger decide what you're worth. And whatever mammon counts, God redeems.